Remember Paper Mario the Thousand Year Door's grouchy chef who you encounter at the very beginning of the game? At first glance, she seems like a spaz who is overreacting about you accidentally stomping on her contact lens. As a kid, I never really liked her because of her nasty first impression, but as I grew older, I grew to have sympathy for this fictitious, yellow feisty video game character. But the question that remains in everyone's minds, or at least mine, is why is she so angry all the time? Surely something must have happened for her to remain so hard-headed, and fierce for her to end up this way. In this video, I will share my theory and provide scenarios as to why Zest is constantly wearing an angry expression on her face. What if it all started when it turns out Zest and Tasty were twin sisters living in Toad Town throughout their childhood? As they grew older, Zesty realized she wanted to live in a more adventurous town, where she could hone in on her cooking skills and demonstrate it to the world outside of Toad Town. Tasty, on the other hand, isn't interested in that sort of exotic lifestyle and would rather stay in their childhood town and cook for nearby residents. They part ways to keep in touch. Zesty packs up her things and boards the nearest boat on its way to the whole new separate area filled with exciting tales and cooking opportunities. She ends up at Rogueport and sets up her little shop in the main plaza until a strange masked individual approaches her in the shop. She informs him that she's not open for business yet, but he immediately pilfers her most prized possession, a handcrafted knife gifted to her by her father before she left Toad Town. Left in a state of panic, she yells at the top of her lungs to help catch the thief. A nearby Good Samaritan heard her cries and ran after the bandit and successfully retrieved the knife. She was thankful for his help and was swayed by the man's dashing good looks and fell in love on the spot. The man felt the same way and to think being robbed led to this fateful encounter that resulted in them getting married months later. Then one day, something terrible happened that changed their lives forever. Zesty was cooking in the kitchen until her husband informed her that he was needed to go on an expedition relating to an archaeology job that is deemed extremely important and a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. She understands and packs him several of his favorite dishes to take with him on his journey. They part ways and he promises to be home soon. Day turned into night, and night turned into day, with no signs of her husband returning. He hasn't called or texted back, and no one in town has seen or heard from him at all. She was incredibly worried and was at a loss of what to do, until one day, she received an envelope from the local bartender and simply told her that it was from her husband. She spared no time ripping the letter open to see what has happened to him after all this time. The letter reads, "Dear love, if you're reading this letter, it means that I am no longer bound by the shackles of this earth and have departed to the heavenly realms. The expedition ended up becoming too overwhelming for our small team as we were ambushed by a gang of ferocious bandits and pilfered all of our belongings and other resources. I am the only one currently left alive, and I'm using the last of my remaining strength to write this letter. I sincerely hope this letter will reach you somewhere and somehow. I wanted to tell you, I will always love you from beyond the grave, and I know you will accomplish great things. Love, your hubby." Zesty clutches the paper tightly that has been stained by her tears, and experiences a mixture of pain, sorrow, anger, and regret. She cannot turn back time, but at least she now has closure in her life regarding her late husband. Years have passed as she carried on her dream of cooking for the locals in another town, and has been doing a terrific job honing her skills as a chef. Lately, her eyesight has been deteriorating due to old age and requires contacts in order to continue cooking. She stepped down and accidentally stumbled and dropped them due to another bandit pushing her out of the way to escape. Annoyed, she was struggling to find them on the ground, and it was almost impossible because everything looked slightly blurry. That's when Mario and Goombella arrive, and the rest is history. As a reminder, this is all completely theoretical, but I like to imagine this was canon to the game, and that explains Zesty's origins and how she came to Rogueport in the first place. The moral of the story is to never judge a book by its cover until you fully know the full story. You never know when someone's going through a rough patch in their life, and it doesn't hurt to be kind to them. Regardless of what truly happened to her favorite feisty Toad chef, one thing for certain is that she is quite the character who cooks Mario food free of charge, and that alone is a gesture worthy of respecting. Thank you for watching. What do you think truly happened to her? And please like and subscribe for more videos like these if you want to.